So today I'm going to be giving you guys an overview and review of the RCBS JR3 single stage press. So kind of taking a look around it, I have it here set up with an RCBS 223 bullet seating die with taper crimp. But I'm going to just focus on kind of talking about some of the highlights that I like about it, some of the things I'm not super impressed with. So first off, you can see I have it set up on a little makeshift stand here. I have it sitting on a RCBS. This is the mounting plate, and I believe this is the one they call the 3. It has labels. That's really the only difference between it and previous versions. It does have bolt mounts here. If you look where I'm pointing, you could set up the RCBS stand. I'm not particularly a fan of the stand on this base plate, and basically what it is I like this bracket better than mounting the stand. I do use the stand in other cases, but just not here in this this particular setup. One of the things I like to do, I keep a little container here, this little cup, and that's just to catch any excess, any leakage of powder that happens to come out of the Uniflow. It doesn't leak very much, but as you pull, there's no powder in here now. What I notice is I tend to do something that I haven't seen done by many people, but I'm sure folks are doing it. I got a bullet here. This is a 223, empty case, and no primer or anything in it, as you can see. But I tend to hold it right under there and then throw powder, and I can put this on the scale, zero the scale, catch powder, and then get my exact weight there. So that's kind of nice when I'm actually loading up. Couple things I want to point out here as well. Another thing I'm not super impressed about with the base plate, the holes don't exactly align, so I had to get these larger washers, and then I put a rubber gasket down there just so it doesn't mark up the single stage press. Some of you may be wondering, yeah, this press looks a little different. This is an RCBS JR3 made in 1976. There's a date up here on top if you have a press and you just kind of want to know when it was manufactured. But this particular one, I painted John Deere green, and I think it came out pretty nice. So basically what happened was it wasn't in horrible shape, but I just thought it'd look a little better if I refurbished it and painted it more of the true green color opposed to RCBS green. So you can see my Uniflow powder measure here is still the original color. I'll probably update that at some point as well. But I painted it green, and then I hit it with a clear coat. So now I'll tell you a little bit about the press. You may also notice I got this ball style lever here. Real smooth action, really impressed with this single stage. It works great for rifle reloading. I wouldn't recommend it for a pistol, but for rifle it does a good job because I tend to decap and size a handful of casings as I've done this one, and then I'll come back later, prime a batch, and then I'll throw powder and seat bullets. I have another videos showing those things, but right now focusing on this press. So this ball style lever, I'll tell you what, give the folks at RCBS a call. They're super nice. If you have any of the old style presses, they'll simply swap it out for you, and all you have to do is you send in the toggle block down here. So you have to take it apart, and that's, once I took it apart I refurbished it, but get that toggle block, ship it off to them, and they send you a modified toggle block because they bore that out, I think, so this new handle will fit in there, and then you get the updated handle and knob, which it's just a lot more convenient, a lot better, more comfortable to use. So that works pretty great, and you can get pretty good leverage off of this RCBS JR3. So no complaints there. The primer feed mechanism, I don't actually have I think they sell a little setup with tubes. I'm not a big fan of the tubes in general. I've been using, and I'll do some reviews on some other presses as well, but I feel like the priming system of RCBS is a little bit inferior to specifically Lee's turret press. They have a better primer feeding mechanism, I think. So I tend to just stack up primers here, pick them off one at a time, load them, and then as I load a batch, you seat them there just by pushing that in and letting it spring out. And it works fine for, like I say, when you're doing rifle cases. I wouldn't recommend it for pistol. And I don't have the primer feed mechanism. I believe you can purchase that for an additional roughly $40. I don't think it's worth it. It seems like a pretty weak mechanism. And next, I'm gonna get to what I consider the weakest link of this whole setup. And I shouldn't say weak link. It's just it's the primer spent primer catch mechanism. And so you effectively load this plastic tray on here, and it locks in place with another plastic device there. And as you deprime, the spent primers fall out of here, and they kind of just bounce all over. This catches them okay, but I'm just not a fan of the mechanism. If you've used the Lee turret press Lee classic cast, it's got basically a bored out hole down through the shaft, and it comes out, catches the spent primers and tubes. It's just a lot better mechanism in my opinion. But again, that's kind of a minor quirk, and this again was manufactured in 1976, so can't complain a whole lot about technology back then. That all being said, if you're looking for a single stage setup, you're going to be doing some, specifically rifle, I definitely recommend this setup. And as you can see here, I have it on a makeshift stand, base plate. I'll be doing some further reviews, but this is pretty convenient to do inside the confines of my living room instead of having to go out to the garage. Hope you all enjoy this video.